Hi, my name is Shelby, and I'm the Island County Department of Emergency Management Coordinator. And for this week's hazard, we're going to be talking about flooding. Most people who live in Washington know what flooding is. But let's go over the basics. The definition, what it can impact, and how flooding occurs in Island County. A flood is an inundation of normally dry land resulting from the rising and overflowing of a body of water. And floods are one of the most common natural hazards in the U.S. They can develop slowly over several days, or they can develop quickly. And these impacts can be felt at local or regional levels and can even include multiple counties or states. Unlike other parts in Washington, Island County is within a rain shadow. The Olympic Mountain rain shadow lessens the amount of rain that the county receives. For example, Washington averages 39 inches of rain a year, while Island County averages only 25 inches a year. Due to this rain shadow, flooding in Island County is limited in its extent and location. Flooding primarily occurs along coastal areas. These coastal areas can also experience tidal flooding. Next, let's talk about the different types of flooding. Riverine flooding is the most common type of flood. This flooding occurs along a channel and includes overbank and flash flooding. When a channel receives too much water, the excess water flows over its banks and inundates low-lying areas. Flash floods. A flash flood is a rapid, extreme flow of high water into a normally dry area, or it can be a rapid rise in water in a stream or creek above a predetermined flood level within 6 hours of an event, such as a dam failure or intense rainfall event. Coastal floods. Flooding of a normally dry, low-lying coastal land. This is primarily caused by severe weather events along the coast and include estuaries and adjoining rivers. These types of floods are frequently more costly and can be a deadly hazard that impacts coastal communities. Coastal flooding includes storm surges, large waves, high tide levels, and other large-scale regional and ocean-scale variations. For more information regarding dam failure flooding, please read through the Island County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Localized flooding, also known as urban flooding, is another type of flood. Localized flooding can occur when water collects or pools in an area where water is not normally present. An example of localized flooding is a storm drain that has been blocked or inundated with too much rainwater and debris and cannot drain excess water away from the surrounding area. Localized flooding can impact parking lots and can impact street structures like homes and businesses. It can occur in areas away from rivers, streams, and coastlines, and can occur in any community or area. It is also more likely to occur during substantial rain events or during snow melt-off. When people talk about significant flood events, the term 100-year flood often comes up. But what exactly is a 100-year flood, and what does it mean? The 100-year flood, also known as a base flood, is a term that describes a significant flood event that statistically has a 1% chance of occurring in any given year. Despite its name, it is not a flood that occurs every 100 years. You can have a 100-year flood event one year and have another 100-year flood event the following year. A 100-year flood map can illustrate where a significant flood event can occur in a geographical area. Buildings located in a 100-year flood zone are required to have flood insurance as a condition of receiving federally backed loans. Be warned, this does not mean that if you live outside the boundaries of a 100-year flood event that you are safe from flooding. Curious to see where flooding normally occurs in Island County? View your flood risk map for a 1% flood event and a 0.2% flood event through the Map Your Hazards application, or visit the link below. Now that you know what a flood is, let's talk about flood preparedness. Before a flood, you should plan for your evacuation route in the event that you need to leave. Have a backup plan if the route you plan to take is flooded. Consider purchasing flood insurance for your home. Homeowners insurance does not cover flood and flood damage. Keep important documents such as insurance policies and valuable items in a safe, dry location. Take photos or videos of the valuables kept in your home in the event of damage. And keep up to date on inclement weather conditions that may create flood conditions. During a flood. Do not try to walk or drive through a flooded area. Water height can be deceiving and may be deeper than it appears. Floodwaters can also rise quickly. If your vehicle stalls in floodwaters, get out of the vehicle and quickly move to higher ground. Stay away from moving water. It only takes 6 inches of water to knock you off your feet. Vehicles can be easily swept away in 2 feet of water. Stay away from flooded areas as much as possible. If your home is flooded, turn utilities off until emergency officials tell you it is safe to turn them back on. Do not try to pump water out of basements and crawl spaces until the floodwater recedes. And make sure to wash your hands if you come into contact with floodwaters. After a flood. Wear protective equipment, such as gloves and boots, when cleaning up a flooded area. Open all windows and doors, and use a fan to air out the building. Wash all linens and clothes in hot water. Discard mattresses and stuffed furniture if they have come in contact with floodwater. Wash dirt and mud from the walls, counters, and hard surfaces with soap and water, and make sure to disinfect surfaces with solutions of 1 cup bleach per gallon of water. Discard all food that has come into contact with floodwater. Canned food can be thoroughly washed before opening and consuming. If your well is flooded, your tap water is probably unsafe. Drink bottled water until health officials tell you that it is safe.